Hey, today I'll be talking about episodes 28 through 29 of RuYi's Royal Love. After her big promotion, A Ruoooooooo is called to serve, and we finally find out the reality of her situation. The Emperor has been calling her in night after night, but he's never actually allowed her to serve him. Instead, he forces her to kneel by his bed and think about her misdeeds. And he's so mean to her, I love it.
Oh, did Ja hit you? You probably deserved it.
Her perceived attention makes it so that the other women are constantly jealous and attacking her, but she has no chance of having a child and will die a virgin in the palace. I love the dedication here. Exactly how many sexless nights did the Emperor go through just to stick it to A Ruoooooooo? And guess who has been having the time of his life eavesdropping? Me too, Liu, me too. I remember wondering why he was so happy sending A Ruoooooooo home after she served the Emperor. It's all making sense now. And this also explains why A Ruoooooo's behavior over the last 3 years has been so erratic. She should have been happy and confident, but she was always one slide away from a temper tantrum, and she never seemed happy no matter how many gifts she received. Not to mention her weird reactions whenever her maid would try to lift her mood by talking about how lucky she is.
再说皇上还是疼您的。疼我。
Despite all this, all of these years, A Ruoooooooo has stuck to her story that RuYi is guilty. It's close to the end now though, and she is really losing it. Whether or not she confesses, it seems like the Emperor has pretty much put it together. A Ruoooooo's maid, who we already knew was a spy, reports back to Hui, and Hui begins to worry that A Ruoooooooo will rat her out to save herself. She takes comfort in the fact that A Ruoooooooo knows she can easily get to her family because A Ruoooooo's father works under her father. RuYi has a chat with the Emperor's right-hand maid. Yoo-hoo tells her about all the things the Emperor was doing in the background to make sure she was safe in the Cold Palace. Hiring Yooncha to protect her, approving Dr. Zhang's transfer to the Cold Palace, the flowers. The next time RuYi sees the Emperor, he's got even more prepared to pull on her heartstrings.
手帕绣了112块，每一样都是过了朕的眼才送到宫外变卖的。
Okay, this is very well orchestrated.
还派人护住了臣妾的性命。
用户告诉你的。
Oh, did Yoo-hoo tell you? I didn't even mean for you to find out. Don't pretend that wasn't part of your plan with your exact number of handkerchiefs and the frickin' painting. You knew what you were doing. RuYi gives in and forgives him, and I don't blame her at all. At the end of the day, he is her whole world, and what choice does she really have?
朕会一直握着你的手，你依靠着朕便是。
Alright, well, fine. I mean, I can't imagine he could do anything worse than this, right? Yooncha gets a promotion and is moved to a new location. Who should he run into but Yanwan, still working in gardening and getting bullied by the higher-ups. He gives her a napkin and she's immediately like, Yooncha, my love, I've missed you. Girl, like last week you said, and I quote, "Bye, Bumpkin, I'm busy climbing the pole and you're too poor to support me." That's word for word what you said. So anyway, our little lovesick dummy takes her back. Yooncha is definitely making a worse decision than RuYi did. With RuYi, it's either forgive the Emperor or die alone. Yooncha, you have all the options in the world. Like me, I'm available. The next time he sees RuYi, he asks that she look out for Yanwan and get her out of the gardening department ASAP. RuYi knows about their history since she saw him drunk and depressed for weeks after Yanwan dumped him, and cautions him to think about why she suddenly loves him again now that she's hit rock bottom.
还说知道是自己错了，所以没有颜面来找我。
没有颜面来找你，不也是找你啦？
Still, Yooncha means a lot to her and she agrees to help get Yanwan reassigned. And with that, these two are pretty much back together. Months later, when everyone's let down their guard and is sure that the Emperor has simply dropped RuYi's case, there is a banquet. Everyone receives pearls from the Emperor, but A Ruoooooooo opens her box to find cinnabar, the mineral found in RuYi's room that was supposedly how she gave Mei and Yi mercury poisoning. Everyone's like, oh man, shit's going down. And shit is indeed going down. Yoo-hoo reveals that she has been under orders to investigate what happened. She found that the families of the eunuchs who accused RuYi have all, strangely, become very rich. That money came from A Ruoooooooo. A Ruoooooooo immediately says she was framed, still sticking to her story. It's over though. She's asked to repeat her story and everyone starts piling on about inconsistencies and how sketchy her story sounds. Su Lian puts a comforting hand on the Empress's shoulder, which is like, you know you're in public, right? Cut that out, it's so sketchy. Jia's got a good poker face, but Hui could not look more guilty. Now that it looks like A Ruoooooooo was the culprit, Mei comes in with a slap. She's always ready to fight someone. Can you not wait 2 minutes? She was exactly this trigger happy when she thought it was RuYi as well. A Ruoooooooo is taken away for further investigation.
皇上，臣妾是冤枉的皇上。
Hui goes to see the Empress later that night, and again, if I were looking to avoid suspicion, I wouldn't be doing that. Anyway, they are sure A Ruoooooooo won't rat them out since she can easily retaliate against her family. Both of her parents have died, but she still has 2 little brothers. The next morning, the emperor brings A Ruoooooo out in front of RuYi. A Ruoooooo has thought out her options and tells them that she did everything on her own. She even admits to all the attempts on her life at the Cold Palace, even though those were mainly Hui and the Empress. Well, she admits to everything but the poisoning, which we know RuYi did to herself. Her maid speaks against her as well, and it kinda cracks me up that she's offended that her maid betrayed her. The emperor has A Ruoooooo tell RuYi what she's actually been doing when she serves him at night.
我都是披着一袭薄毯跪在地上，皇上从来没有碰过我。
He makes it clear that the only reason A Ruoooooo is still alive is because he needed her to prove RuYi's innocence one day. He is making huge strides in the forgiveness department. In the end, even when she's left alone with the emperor, A Ruoooooo still refuses to admit that anyone else was involved. Hui and the empress live to scheme another day. In actuality, the emperor does know that definitely Hui and probably the empress were involved. She's not very good at covering her tracks.
再追查下去，那些银子都出自贵妃那儿，只是经了阿若的手。
这些年镇抗阿若，常常出入皇后的宫里，贵妃也一向很听皇后的话。
But he decides to leave it at that and orders A Ruoooooo poisoned and turned mute. Good riddance, A Ruoooooo. It took long enough, but this sure was a satisfying conclusion. The emperor is a theater kid at heart. He loves to make a scene. Also, everything worked out in the end, but it would have been nice to see RuYi on the offense, even just a little. It's interesting to see a character like her that isn't really an active participant in her life, the way Zhenhuan and Yingluo are, for example. She's so laid back that she's almost not a main character, if that makes any sense. But as we know, that is her character, and it's what sets her apart from the rest. And now for a look at the book. Okay, right off the bat, the scene where A Ruoooooo is begging the emperor to let her serve him, she isn't wearing any clothes. And let me tell you, it really changes the optics of the scene with her butt naked, trying to unbutton his shirt, and he's like, "What? Girl, get off me." Although actually, bit of a change here, the emperor actually did sleep with her the first night. It was a way to sort of cement her into this position, because after losing her virginity to the emperor, she officially becomes his woman and could never be with someone else. And then after that, he never slept with her again. Another thing that was taken out, A Ruoooooo actually says out loud in front of RuYi and the emperor that she was under orders from Hui and the empress. And it's the emperor who says, "Are you sure about that? Maybe think about your family." He's pretty much the same character, but it's made even more obvious that what he cares about isn't really the truth, it's peace and calm in the harem. Till next time, thanks for watching.